Hello everyone, welcome to part 7 of the NASCAR 99 season, and it's time for a little bit of Richmond International Raceway. RIR. Rrr. Let's see if I can get me a good qualifying lap here. Rrr. And there's only 3 races left in this season. Man, it's been a season so far, that's for sure. I haven't won any races yet. I'm outside of the top 10 points. But I guess that's kind of my doing since I turned the difficulty up and put pit stops and damage on and all that good stuff. The way I see it, I kind of balanced out the fairness. I didn't want to just cruise to dub after dub, which is pretty fun to do in my spare time, but not necessarily when I'm recording a Let's Play or a season or whatever. Let's see how I shake up after 2 qualifying laps. 7th, okay. Yeah, that's good. I think I can put together a pretty solid race. Just gotta keep the car clean and pit at the right time and all that good stuff. I think Richmond's a fine enough track. I just don't feel like it puts on the best racing anymore, and it's mostly because the current car that NASCAR has, the new gen car, or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't race very good on short tracks, and that's something they need to figure out. Hopefully they get it figured out one of these days. But Richmond hasn't put on very entertaining races in a long time. There aren't a whole lot of memorable moments there. But yeah, there's 3 races left in this season. There's Richmond, Martinsville, and Phoenix, which it's kind of funny to think that EA Sports predicted Phoenix being the season finale, because that's where the championship ends now. And Richmond and Phoenix are kind of similar, but they're not. They get compared all the time. I do like that I have checked out to a decent little lead here. I think kind of surprised to see people pitting this early. And it looks like there's a couple of cars out of the race, so that's unfortunate. But yeah, it's a little too soon to be pitting just yet. I haven't run out of fuel or anything, but it does look like the leaders have caught back up with me. I do feel like I'm going to get at least 1 win this season. I've made that the goal. Get at least 1 dub and try to finish top 10 in points. I don't know how likely that's going to be, though. But I'll see what I can do here. But yeah, Richmond's, it's alright, I guess. It's more fun to race than it is to watch NASCAR go there these days. I have to keep in mind that my TV's been doing this weird flickering thing where I think I have a bad HDMI cable that's messing with it. Somewhere between the 3 HDMI cables I'm using at this very moment. Somewhere in the middle of that mess, I've got a faulty cable, and I will have to replace that for sure. I thought it was an electrical issue, but luckily it's not. Although sometimes I think there is a bit of an electrical issue at the house here, that sometimes when I turn on my fan, the TV will flicker, or it'll trip a switch in the bathroom. I don't know much about it. But I do know that I'm going to pit this time, and I'm just going to take fuel and try to see if I can make a decent strategy out of it. Hopefully come out of this with a decent result. Just got to make sure that they fuel the car this time, because if you get fuel and if you hit the gas pedal too soon, they'll send you back out. And I've run out of fuel a couple of times doing that. Ooh, this is good stuff, though. I came back out in second. I don't know if I have anything for old King Richard. I think that's Richard Petty up there in first. Yeah. Still a few more cars on the pit cycle there. I've fallen back to third. Now I'm back to second. Don't know if I got anything for the leader or not. I'm gonna try though. I gotta get at least one dub this season. I feel like this might be one of my better chances to do so. It's a pretty consistent gap so far though. Okay, I'll see if I can just get into that corner somewhat decently. That I feel like I'm trimming the gap a little bit now. I think I'm making some time. That early set of 3D models is not pulling away from me too far. And it will really help if I can just lock into the draft. Yeah, I should be able to get back to him. Should be able to get to his quarter panel in time. But yeah, I sure hope they can get the short track package figured out for this Gen 7 NASCAR. Because races at Bristol, Martinsville, Phoenix, and Richmond, and even the All-Star race at Wilkesboro, I know those tracks can put on good racing. It's just this car that they have now. It puts on good racing in just about anywhere else. But they haven't figured out the short tracks. You'd think that'd be easy. But I have made my way back into the lead with a lap and a half to go. I'm going to see what I can do to hold on to that. I do currently have control of this race. Even if I don't win, I think this has turned into a pretty solid outing in the Richmond 400. Just gonna take that corner a little bit easy. Oh, no, you don't. Ooh. Got into the grass a little bit there, but I pulled away with the dub. I got my first win of the season, alright. It's about time. And that... yeah, I'm still 13th in points, but... I am at least less than 100 points back from 10th now, so I might be able to do something. Martinsville's next. I feel pretty good about this one, too. Man, it feels good to finally have a win on the season. I was kind of questioning whether or not I made it too difficult for me to even pull that one off, but I think Martinsville, I have a pretty good chance to have a good day as well. Not so sure about Phoenix yet. Going into these recording sessions for NASCAR 99, I actually hadn't played or practiced this too much. But I didn't feel like I really needed to, as I'm spinning out in the grass during qualifying. But no, I didn't feel like I really needed to too much, because, I mean, I've played this game my entire life, practically. Well, almost. It doesn't look like the frame rate's too zoomy there in the corners. It's not going to be too big of an issue here. It's kind of lame, though, that some games, I don't know what all games won't, as far as PS1 games go, I don't know which ones will not play. There is one that doesn't play, and then some of the NASCAR games, the NASCAR 2001 through 2004 on PS1, they play on PS3 hardware. They just look really bad, and everything's all glitchy looking, and it can't run properly. There is also the one game I know that doesn't run on the PS3. It's called Cabela's Big Game Hunter. I bought 3 different copies of that and tried them on 2 different PS3s, and for some reason that game just refuses to play on them. I don't know if there's any other PS1 games like that have that issue. As I probably said before, eventually I want to get PS2 recording stuff situated. I want to get that figured out. Which I want to get the best possible picture quality I can out of it when I do. So I need to make some investments for capture software, HDMI conversion, I guess. So it will run on my capture software. And early on, despite a little bit further back in the field, not too bad on that qualifying run, managed to check out to first. I don't know how long I'll be able to hold the lead here, but I do feel pretty good about this one. And Martinsville, that's a track I've been to before. It's a pretty nice place. I went in 2021. I went the year that Hamlin and Bowman crashed or something, and Bowman ended up winning the race, and Hamlin was all mad and did burnout with him at the end of the race, and everybody in the crowd was booing, and I was booing. Everybody was mad at Hamlin that day. Yeah, I do have some footage there. I did go to that race and took a lot of pictures and video. I was going to make an episode of Fromark Talks, and I suppose I still could, but it ended up being more of a cutting room floor kind of thing, because the time window had long passed by the time I really wanted to sit down and make that episode. So maybe I could go through the vaults and maybe try to finish that one. My Vacation 2021 episode. Yeah, I had a good time that weekend. Now, lost the lead, not too worried about it. I think I can get back there. Sounded like something fell in the kitchen. I don't know if the microphone picked that up or not. These walls are kind of... they're not thin, but you can hear pretty well, I guess. Oh no, oh no. No. Doesn't look like I can afford to do anything else to the car. I just need to be careful. Very careful. Now I will take damage for repair when I come in. I'm on the backstretch pit. And yeah. I'll probably pit next time by. I'm gonna pit next time. I just need to keep the car clean for another half a lap. But yeah, I'd like to go back to Martinsville one of these days. Martinsville and Richmond are both in Virginia, for those that didn't know. So it's pretty cool that they have two NASCAR races. I am not taking tires. I am going to do fuel and damage repair just to be safe, and hopefully I can come back out and not get shuffled out too badly. Now I'm still ahead of the leaders as far as not being off the lead laps. So that's good. I think the leader still has yet to pit. If I'm not... yeah, there he is now. And I'm wondering where I'm going to cycle out of all this. Uh-oh, I think a car just ended up out of the race. RIP. Alright, I've cycled back out to third. The leader is quite a ways ahead. I still have a few laps I could maybe get back to him. Especially the way I'm kind of Ross Chastaining these walls. Which, that happened the year after I went. That was 22. When he did the famous Hail Melon move and made up like 6 spots in turn 4. And it was more of a video game move. Because those are the kind of things you can get away with in NASCAR games. But NASCAR stepped in and outlawed that move. He didn't get penalized. They just decided that since it was one of those 1 in a million kind of things, that they just put a ban on it and went on from there. Dude, that was pretty cool. I mean, I don't think I'd ever really seen anybody make a video game move like that successfully work. Or maybe there had been a couple instances before where something like that had happened, but I'll tell you what is happening. I just took the lead again. And I got some lappers ahead, so I do like passing lap traffic, to be honest. It's always fun to see how many cars I can put a lap down, and maybe even multiple laps down. If I can just put some distance between me and second place, perhaps a few cars between me and second place, I will feel a whole lot better. It looks like going into the finale at Phoenix, I'll probably save that for the final episode of this playthrough. So I'll just finish out the part here at Martinsville. And the season finale, of course, fittingly, will be the final part. While not being the playthrough I thought it was going to be, I thought I would have had some better luck this season. At least I've put together a couple of solid runs here and there. I've already got a win, and I might actually get a second win. Where were these wins earlier? I just gotta hang on for a couple more laps. Oh, I see. My tires are starting to wear. I mean, I didn't pit for tires, so I'm not too terribly surprised. Plus, I'm just kind of slip-sliding around up in these corners. Makes it a little bit easier to lose the car when you get into them slick spots that you already put down. I think I'm going to be alright, though. I think I might actually pull this one off. 2 wins in a row. Sounds good to me. Coming out of the final corner, I think, I got it. Alright. Alright. Yeah, that's the stuff. But yeah, it's nice to be putting some results together finally. I'm tied for 12th. Looks like theoretically I could maybe make it up to 8th or 9th. No, not 8th, obviously, but maybe 9th or 10th. I just got to put together a solid season finale here. And on that note, I will end the part here, save it, and I will see you in the final part, folks.